Part 2, Lesson 2. Are you an investor or a speculator? We were talking about the difference between speculation and investment, and we saw what Graham and Philip Carret had to say on it. Now, as we are talking about these great investing thinkers, let's bring in another two great investors, Seth Klarman and Warren Buffett. Seth Klarman says, quote, "Assets and securities can often be characterized as either investments or speculations. The distinction is not clear to most people. Both investments and speculations can be bought and sold. Both typically fluctuate in price and can thus appear to generate investment returns. But there is one crucial difference. Investments throw off cash flow for the benefit of the owners, whereas speculations do not. The return to the owners of the speculations depends exclusively on the vagaries of the resale market. The resale market that he mentioned is the secondary market where you and I buy shares from other investors. Finally, here's what Warren Buffett says. The line separating investment and speculation, which is never bright and clear, becomes blurred still further when most market participants have recently enjoyed triumphs. Nothing sedates rationality like large doses of effortless money. After a heady experience of that kind, normally, sensible people drift into behavior akin to that of Cinderella at the ball. They know that overstaying the festivities, that is, continuing to speculate in the companies that have gigantic valuations related to the cash that they are likely to generate in the future, will eventually bring on pumpkins and mice. But they nevertheless hate to miss a single minute of the party. Therefore, the giddy participants all plan to leave just seconds before midnight. There is a problem though. They are dancing in a room in which the clocks have no hands. Buffett further gives the example of the farm. He says, when you purchase the farm and say it is going to produce grains worth of $80 million per acre, and if it costs you $600 million, then you are looking at the farm itself. You are not looking at how much the price of the farm has changed next day or next week. If you only look at the farm and not at the price every other day, you are investing. But if you are only looking at the price of the farm day in and day out, then you are speculating. As one speculates, he tries to gauge what market as a whole thinks about the stock and not the stock itself. And this is precisely what happens during the IPO rush and bull markets. Stock market participants try to guess what others are thinking. Those others are thinking about what others are thinking. Funnily, you are trying to gauge what they are thinking about the stock, and they are trying to figure out what you are thinking about the stock. But no one is thinking about the stock itself. This is precisely what technical analysts do. So effectively, people who indulge in day trading or swing trading using these silly charts and other stupid practices are pure speculators. They talk about how the market behaves rather than what the value of a given stock may be. After listening to all this, I have a question for you. Do you feel like checking the price of the stock every day? Or are you comfortable not looking at for days, months, and even years to come? This way, you may be able to make the difference between whether you are an investor or a speculator. And if you want to be an investor, you'll have to learn how not to worry about these daily price swings. The reason I asked you this question is there is one important psychological trait here. Certain people have more mental inclination towards speculation, while others have less of it. Benjamin Graham acknowledged this natural tendency of human beings to gamble. If you unfortunately find yourself in that position, that you are simply not able to control your gambling urge, the best thing to do is to give your money to a professional fund manager and just stay away from the markets. If you can't do that either, I would suggest you what Benjamin Graham suggested. Create a very small fund, say 5% of your savings, and strictly not more than that, and you gamble using this 5% only. Whenever the gambler inside you awakens, let it gamble with this and only this money, and be clear in your head that you are gambling and not investing. If you lose, you won't put anything back to fill the bucket, but if you win, you remove the extra amount from the account. Again, this is a risky terrain, and I am suggesting this only if you are simply not able to control the urge to gamble. There is a wise saying that man has tendencies to rationalize things, particularly when they are likely to be proved most harmful. Risk in this approach is that you will eventually at some point throw the caution to the wind and put huge money at risk. The best thing to do? Just don't speculate. And don't be near those who do speculate. Investing is best done by traveling the investment path all by yourself, alone. That's how Warren Buffett has done it, and he has been quite successful at that. In the next lesson, we will talk about the fundamental characteristics of value investments and how you can become a true value investor.